Alright, so what I've got here is the Rawlings Glove Lacing Kit. Came with this steel lacing tool, they called it. Interestingly, not a needle, so that's weird. And it came with what it says is 48 inches of just regular leather lace. This is like the kind of neutral brownish tan leather. So first, what I'm trying to do with this is actually just close up the size of this opening. This is for a youth baseball player, and it's A1000, but it's not the Pedroia fit, so my hand as an adult fits in it just fine. It's kind of perfect, so I'm going to close this up so this is smaller so that a younger player can use it. So first I'm just going to try taking these things off, and I've never done this at all, so this will kind of show if it's easy or hard for anyone to do. Probably a pair of pliers wouldn't be a bad idea. This part goes inside this hole. It stays under the leather, but inside of this fabric portion that goes against your wrist. So I'm trying to get a pliers to try to help get that out. One can only imagine that's going to be difficult to get back inside later on, because we're going to have to do something similar, I'm sure. As you can see, you can just kind of grab it and twist it, and it starts coming out. Okay, now the lace is out. So one thing I'm wondering is if I can just use the lacing tool to help me get this one back inside, or if I should use all 48 inches and I can just cut it to size later. Obviously it would look better if it was the same color. Maybe I'll just try that first. Alright, so I can't lace this. There's just no way to lace it. You know, normally I think you would attach it somehow kind of to the bottom of the needle, and then you could poke it through and it would just fall like a piece of thread, but that's not going to happen with this one. So I think what we have to do, and I have no idea, because the instructions simply says push lacing tool through glove and hole, thread lace and pull back through hole. So first thing I want to do is I want to get it through this hole. So using the way they say it, you're going to go backwards through the hole where you want it to go through, and then just kind of attach it somehow, just as long as it stays, I guess, and then pull it back through. Kind of lost it, but it actually went through, so that's one. So it's really just kind of, it's almost like a punch that just, you know, attaches to the lace. I'm going to pull it through here. Alright, that's the first part. So I got the first part through. Now I'm going to leave a little bit over here just so hopefully I don't pull it all the way through. And then over here, originally after this lace came through here, it would go through this hole and out that hole. So I'm trying to make it tighter. So I'm going to go through, first, you know, smaller wrist. I'm going to go through, instead of this hole out that hole, we're going to go in this hole out that hole. So I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to go backwards the way I want to go. So there we go, like that. And then I'm going to grab onto the lace. Hope that I can pull it through somehow. Doesn't really want to because the hole isn't big enough. Twist it around, get it inside. Got it inside. Pull it out. Lost it because this tool just. Because if you're going to have a really good grip on the lace, and this tool requires the opening to be bigger, which kind of defeats the purpose. But it's right there, you can see it, so I'm just going to kind of work it with my hands until it comes out. So, got the job done. You know, didn't really seem great, unless I'm doing it completely wrong. Which I don't see any pictures or videos online for it, so maybe I am. Alright, but there we go, through that second hole, out the third hole. Okay, so the next move, after I've got it there, is I'm going to try to take this leather lace, and I'm going to put it through this hole right here. It's almost possible to just do with your hands. So, there it is, I just used my hands. Great. So why did I buy the tool, right? Alright, so, got it looking like this right now. See that? Now what I'm going to try to do is get the lace to go in through this last kind of hole on the bottom, in there, and then inside and come out this hole right there. From this hole to that hole. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to twist this so I can keep the good part of the lace, you know, kind of want the good part of the lace to be shown there. I'll twist it a little and then have it ready. We'll get our tool out. This is somewhat interesting because I'm going to have to come in through this top hole. Alright, put my, yeah, I'm kind of, it's like I'm having trouble getting this lacing tool to be just under the leather and not hitting the padding. But see, it was never used, the hole's never been used, so it might be that just you have to just punch through some of the padding. That's probably what's happening. Because there has never been a hole there before. You can see that, just kind of poking a hole, so there we go. This may be difficult. This definitely may be difficult. But we'll see. So I'll attach it here. I think the end result of using this tool, maybe you make these holes bigger than they need to be if you had the maybe a more appropriate type tool. Lost it inside. It may not be something I can recover this time because that's such a long distance right there, and it's just lost it right there. I don't know if I can just push it and find it. Find out. Just kind of pushing it up there. You can feel it. It's actually getting kind of close. It's all the way over there. It's not working, so I'm going to pull it out. We'll try again. Maybe I can actually hold on to it when I'm inside here. Good news is, I mean, these holes can be a little bigger than they were. It shouldn't really hurt anything. Doesn't really make me happy, but it may be what has to happen. Particularly like that first hole, just to get it inside without losing it. I've got it inside, as you can see. Still with the grip. Gotta get it out the other end. See right there, it's kind of holding on to it. There we go. Alright, did it. So, for the first time while I was doing this, I feel like I really did need a tool, something like that. Some very thin pliers or tweezers, maybe you could have done it, but it was certainly easier with a tool like this. Although I still think the needle would be a lot better. Alright, so that's part of it done. Alright, so that's what it looks like so far. We've got that one portion right. We're going to have a crossover like this and just come into here. Sometimes it would be under, sometimes it would be over. I took a picture of mine before I started this and it was over, so I'll just keep it looking the same way. I'm going to try to get the, quote unquote better looking lace part. Oh, now it's starting to show a little beat up through this hole first. So I'm just going to go through the hole I wanted. Can't get it through the hole this time on the tool. It's like from being pulled on, it's kind of fattened up, and maybe you need to stretch it a little. Just flatten it a little with some pliers should probably help. I'm just like taking it and just making it thinner by pressing on it, really. You do a little stretching too, may help. Stretch it out. I'll try again. There we go. Now it was easy. It's funny. Alright. Just going to pull it through. Difficulty getting it through the hole. Alright, I got it. So, once again, it's just kind of brute force strength. Using the tool makes the lace and the tool even bigger than just the lace. Significantly more, so it kind of stretches the hole, takes a little force more than you probably would have to do with some other tool. So, got it there. Now, I think we're going to want to go through the first of these two holes here, I believe. All right, so I want to go in through this hole, out that hole, and then after that's done, we're going to come up through this hole, and I think we can just tie it. So I'm going to take it, in as easy steps as I can. Instead of going to go through all three at once, I'm just going to go through this hole and that hole, hopefully. So the way this works, sorry you couldn't see those holes. I'm going to take this piece right here, coming out from here, goes here, that's this piece right here. It's going to go in through this hole closest to the lace, come out the other one. So that's going to make it, it's going to be tighter. Feel it already feel tighter. Yeah, it already feels tighter. And once it's tightened down, it should be good. So I'm going to take my tool, once again, I'm going to go backwards with the tool. So in this hole right here, out that hole. There we go. You can kind of see some of the padding that's in there, so that's not great, but what are you going to do? So, to thread it through right here. Okay. Then I'm just going to try to pull it through best I can. I can angle the leather in the hole, but still hold on to it at the same time. Maybe that would be better. Really, there we go. Got it in once. Trying to get it off the bottom without ripping the leather. The leather can take a beating, but not an infinite amount. Kind of off camera now, trying to go to my lap, trying to make it work. So I can see what's happening. As I pull, the leather has gone past there. Tool. I try to twist it so the leather's not past the hole. And then pull. There we go. Here's a little bit cushion, lost from the wrist guard. Okay. I'm just going to kind of look at where the way the laces are, make sure I get them kind of like, pretty, so to speak. Why not? There we go. So I think most of the hard work is done. All right, so now we just need to get it through this hole here. So we'll come this piece here, will come out that hole. This should be relatively easy compared to everything else we've done. Just stick the tool through backwards. Put the leather through it, hopefully. Looks like it's gotten all beat up again, so I'm just going to stretch it a little. Flatten it with some pliers. Stretch it a little. That's gone right through. So, grabbed it, maybe angle it a little. Only has to go through one hole, so that should probably work. Yeah, came off, but as you can see, came through already, so no big deal. Alright. Now, we're going to kind of want these probably to be relatively even. We're going to do just a regular old square knot, I think is all it is. So we'll just tighten her up. Tighten that. Tighten this. That is not tight at all. That's this part. So there we go. Kind of make it nice and tight, right? Because it is a smaller kid, not tiny, but smaller. I feel like it should be like tight enough to where I don't really want to put my hand in it because I feel like I'm gonna, stretch it out for him. I don't want that. Nice and tight is good. It will loosen up some because it's leather. So over time, it'll loosen up. And actually, as his hand gets bigger, it'll just naturally kind of loosen up some. And then maybe one day, he'll complain to me and say, hey, this thing's too tight. And I can, loosen it up for him, make him bigger. Or by then, he's probably just going to want a new glove because why not? It's A1000. He's going to want the A2000, A2K, or A3K, whatever they got. So, next, the square knot should just be, you can do it however you want. I'm going to start with the right over left. And I'm just going to pull nice and tight. I did right over left, and I'm going to do left over right. I'm just trying to see if I can make it to where the correct side of the leather is showing when I'm done. So maybe just like a little twist somewhere. Still doing left over right. There we go, that's not bad. Alright, I'm just gonna nice and tight. Maybe I'm gonna grab some pliers, just some extra strength. There we go. So. Alright, it's done. So, I guess that's how you shorten the wrist portion of a baseball glove, at least a Wilson glove like this. And I guess that's how you use this tool from the Rawlings Glove Lacing Kit, which honestly, this is like $3.50 on Amazon. And if I wanted like the needle lace I was trying to buy, that was more like a regular needle, it was like $5 or something, and I wouldn't even get it as soon. So I just went with the cheapest stuff that actually came with lace. You can't buy anything for $3.50 these days, so I figured I'd get that. But this is not, in my opinion, what you want to use. I don't know why they would bother making this when they could just, for seemingly the same amount of money, they could have like the needle version that you could, in my opinion, much more easily get in through the holes without making the holes bigger, without having to like stretch anything out. Just doesn't make any sense to me why they would use this design. but there you go.